We all have regrets. Each of us is going to get a turn lying on our deathbed. The worst regret that people have when they are lying on their deathbed is not for all the things they did wrong, but for all the things they could have done, but never did. If you were to die today, what abilities, what dreams, what ideas, what gifts, what talent would die with you? Does anybody here know where the wealthiest place on the planet is? You see, it's not the oil fields of Dubai. It's not the diamond mines of South Africa. The wealthiest place on the planet is the graveyard. You see, in the graveyard, you will find inventions never made. You will find potential never realized. In the graveyard, you will find books never published, songs never sung, plays never written. In the graveyard, you will find skill never discovered. In the graveyard, my friends, is where you will find regret. Each of us has a life story. And inside that life story is an inventory of emotions. And those emotions might consist of happiness, sadness, anger, shame. But in the deepest, darkest part of your mind lives regret. You see, regret doesn't want to be found. But let me tell you, when regret finds you, it's going to hit you hard and it's going to hit you fast. Regret feels like a 18-wheeler hitting you head on as it's racing down the hill out of control. Regret, my friends, I have found to be the most painful emotion that we can experience. For me, life taught me the reality of regret and the harshness of its pain. The date was February 23rd, 2010. The time was 6:51 p.m. The phone rang, and I saw it was my ex-wife. I picked up the phone and I said, "Hi." At that moment, I knew there was something wrong. At that moment, I heard a pain in her voice I had never heard before. Even when she called me years prior to tell me that her father had passed away. The pain I heard was that 18-wheeler hitting me head on. That 18-wheeler were the words, "James is gone." You see, James was my 15-year-old son. And he had just killed himself. At that moment, regret came from around the corner with its arms wide open, ready to greet me and embrace me like an old friend. You see, regret wrapped itself around me in cold layers. The cold layers were regrets of not spending 5 extra minutes when I used to tuck my son in when he was young. The regret of being angry instead of loving. The regret of not stopping for 5 minutes when life was busy just to listen to what he had to say. Regrets, ladies and gentlemen, are the most painful emotion that we can experience. I want you to think about what your regrets are today. I want you to think about that regrets can be the visitors in the guest house of our mind. But see, that doesn't mean they have to stay. You can either let them move in like those relatives that overstay their welcome, or you can stand up to yourself and say, "Regret, I've had enough of you. It is time for you to go." You see, we can change regret. We don't have to have regret. I want to share 3 simple things that I've done in my life to help me alleviate the pain from regret. I want you to try it. If you do, I think you'll find that they will help you too with your regret. The first one is that when we feel the pain of regret trying to sneak in the back of our mind, the pain of regret trying to take us over, trying to weigh us down, simply stop and ask yourself one simple question. If I would have known better, would I have done better? See, we don't have the wisdom and the life experience that we did back then, that we do now. So it's easy to beat ourselves up. So I say, simply stop and ask yourself, if I would have known better, would I have done better? And you know what the answer is. Try it. You'll be surprised how powerful it is. The second idea is to give yourself the same compassion, love, and kindness that you give other people when they are feeling down, when they are feeling sad, when they are feeling regretful. Because if you give yourself the same loving compassion and kindness that you give others, give it to yourself, regret's going to realize that it is not welcome in the guest house of your mind. Third thing, make a simple shift in the way you look at things. You see, there is no such thing as failure, only learning opportunities. If we look at mistakes that we made as learning opportunities and evaluate them, we can grow from them and learn and move forward in life and not take a regret with us. Tonight, I hope I've helped you look at regret in a different way. Help you realize that you don't have to have regret, that you can live free without regret. Don't become one of those people that are lying on their deathbed wishing that you had done more but didn't. I'd like to leave you with a poem called Things You Didn't Do by author unknown. Do you remember the time I borrowed your brand new car and I dented it? I thought you were going to hit me, but you didn't. Do you remember the time that I dragged you to the beach and you said it would rain? And it did? I thought you were going to say, I told you so, but you didn't. Do you remember the time that I flirted with all those other guys just to make you jealous? And you were? I thought you were going to drop me, but you didn't. And do you remember the time I spilled strawberry pie on your living room rug? I thought you were going to hit me, but you didn't. And do you remember the time that I forgot to tell you that the dance was formal and you showed up in blue jeans? I thought you were going to leave me, but you didn't. There were a lot of things that you didn't do, but you loved me, you protected me, and you made me feel safe. There were a lot of things that I wanted to make up to you when you came back from Iraq, but you didn't. I'm Toastmaster.